Okay, welcome back, everyone. Right now, I'm going to show you how to. Well, this is going to be a tutorial. Honestly, it's not a great tutorial because you should just go and buy these templates. However, I'm in a rush. I need to get an example of something out the door, so I'm going to not purchase this. I'm going to kind of hack my way around it, more or less. Okay, so I'm going to use my magic wand here. I'm going to try and select as much of this as I can. Right, so I turn my tolerance down to 0. It's basically just it's less tolerant, essentially, of other colors and the boundaries between them. So in life, I would say increase your tolerance when you're trying to select out this light gray, whitish MacBook Pro on top of a lightish gray background. Decrease your tolerance. Oh man, what am I trying to say? Okay, so I'm not going to do it perfectly just yet. I'll come back and clean it up. I'm going to inverse this. I'm going to add a mask here. I'll sort of mask out my background. That also lets me come back in a little bit later with a brush, clean up some edges or erase some edges, whatever I think it's going to be. Right? So anyways, again, that's like the last step. So let's make our smart object. So typically I will take a shape layer, make a shape. I'm gonna judge that the screen size is about that, right? Corner to corner ish. Right, I'm gonna save this as a smart object now. You want to make sure you save this as your smart object. I'm gonna convert it to your smart object. Right click, rectangle, convert to smart object. If you don't do it now, you will not get the same effect for when you replace this image with a new one. Okay, so Command T, right click. Let's start to get this in place. And you can see we already are going to run into some issues here because we have multiple points of perspective that we're not necessarily accounting for. So we're going to Command T. We're going to do a little bit of distort. You could also try and do if you wanted to do Command T, do perspective. This does do slightly different things when you take these arrows, when you take these corners and such. You could try and play around with that. It also does skew at the same time. But what I think we're going to need to do is we're going to need to distort this and kind of line this up manually a bit. All right, let's see where we're at here. And I take my corners and kind of cover. Do a little bit of coverage here. Okay. Okay, we'll let that sit. Now I'm going to
Can you glue this box back together?
What?
Can you glue this box back together?
Okay. So this is the hacky kind of way to do it. So there's probably a couple different ways to do this. There could be some better edge rounding tools, obviously. But I just eyeball it. I try and gauge how it's turning out in comparison to the lines below. So that's all right. Well, let's add in our graphic. And then we're going to add a little bit on top. Okay, so linked, in case I change this graphic, I'll link it, not embed it. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, sweet. So now it's in the perspective we want, but now we want to, we want to add in some screen lighting details. The easiest way to do this again, I'm a little more painterly. You can always also take our pen tool. Oh crap, I just messed that up, didn't I? All right, hold on. Oh no, that's just how the design is. I forgot. Hopefully that doesn't cause issues. Okay. Gonna not do that. Gonna command click this to select the active pixels. Make a new layer and then create a mask. So now anything in this layer will be masked. I'm just gonna use my brush. Sorry, y'all. Get a nice airbrush effect going. Make this size up. Silly me. Layers have to be on top of other layers to show through. Right, let's just do this more intentionally. Okay, that's 25%. Okay, let's get this into our mockup. Okay, so this into .com design. Graphic assets, case studies, wings. To wings, MacBook float, BSD. Okay, let's trim this up. We go to image trim, it'll reduce all the transparent pixels around. We'll get a nice height. Export. Let's export as PNG. Export right in here. Save. All right. We could do the same thing. This version. I don't know that I need to, but I will open this back up. Okay, so now let's change out this one. Ooh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't do the cleanup. That's what we need to do. We need to clean up the edges. But let's get some. Let's get some shadows first. Let's see how much cleanup this needs. It doesn't. Well, upon zoom, it's much dirtier than one would want. Let's get a hard edge. Tighten this up a bit. We click down here, and we click up here. Ooh, how much opacity? Gotta get that opacity up. Okay, so we click right here. We click right here. We get a straight line that zips down. You only see it removing. You don't see the exact path of the line. But if we click right here and click here, you can see that cleans that up. If we clean that up, if we click here, and then I click here. There's probably far more efficient ways to do this. This comes from my cutting out Gundam Wing and Dragon Ball Z anime so I could draw them in school. I spend hours downloading images off the internet, cutting them out, reshaping them into like really bad Photoshop posters. It's like years. I mean, this is like when I was in high school. Internet, we still were using dial-up. Okay, that's cleaner. So I say we re-export this, replace it. It's our new beauty, a new hotness, and let's. One thing that it does bother me about Figma is that it doesn't really link. So if I change that image, it doesn't auto update it. But at least from what I've seen, it hasn't been doing it. So I'm not sure why that is, or if that's a thing that they're planning on changing. Ooh, look at those. Look at those beautiful, crisp lines. The true test of this work is when it sits on an alternate color. So you can see here, there's an artifact. There's another artifact right here. There's another artifact. So we could go in and clean those up. Again, we're talking about like 1 pixel right here. It's not going to be noticeable. And see here a little bit of artifacting right here. We could go clean up. But at these I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. At these retina sizes, not really gonna matter. And this is also just a comp. I need to get the idea across more than futzing with that. So again, people have different opinions on that sort of stuff. So okay, so I have this phone here. I really want more depth. But I think I need to. This is a shadow from an older design, so it doesn't necessarily line up with. Okay, how do I remove you? Please be gone. There we go. You need to move closer in. And then we also need to do one other important thing, which is purplize you. Or navy eyes you. It's too much now. Oh. Okay, it's a little bit better. That's a lot better. Yeah, got like country roundup going on.